Hey guys, Quantum Videos here. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm reviewing the newest episode of Goblin Slayer. Now, I have to say I love this anime. It just really seems to be quite, the little haremies forming here because it seems even the Shrine Maiden isn't like infatuated with the Goblin Slayer. So we're gonna jump right into it here. Basically, when we're looking at him in the dungeon here, he sees the mirror, which is of course what I'm opening up with, because of course I called it in the last review I made that I thought this mirror was going to be a portal like what they used in Dragon Age. It's basically leads to another location, and it turns out that it leads to a location that houses a bunch of goblins. Now, as for the goblins on the other side of the mirror, they don't really get dealt with in this episode, but you do see, a picture here with them having boats and knowledge of all this stuff that they seem to have wherever that portal does lead that has the other mirror. Now, of course, the Goblin Slayer knows that by killing that giant eye thing that shot to disintegration and stuff, that all the other goblins are basically going to come running, and they do. And so he basically hears his mentor saying, "What's in my pocket?" And to me, that is a reference to like, what are you going to do now? What's your idea? Think outside the box. So, of course, the Goblin Slayer is going to start thinking, what am I going to do for a plan? So what does he start doing? He starts building some barricades. And with the barricades, I'm not going to wreck it for you yet, but when they build the barricades, all the goblins start coming. They shoot them with arrows. They shoot them with rocks. They save all their spells. It gets really, really good fighting scenes here. I really like the way there's blood everywhere. So when you're seeing, all this and the giant goblin champion comes, and like I said, he's a high ranking goblin. His strength is equivalent to probably, I don't know, like a silver rank at least. So if not higher than what the Goblin Slayer actually is. But basically they're shooting arrows here at the high elf, and the skeletal warrior, as you were, basically blocks the arrows with its body, because it can't pierce that hard bone. So basically what they start doing is they lure all the goblins in there. The Goblin Champion's so enraged because Goblin Slayer's running around injuring the Goblin Champion. Basically, it enrages it. It starts killing its own party members. Then the High Priestess basically casts a spell that makes everyone blind temporarily. And then the dwarf actually uses the rock spells that he has to cave in the ceiling with like a spell that starts grinding in the ceiling. And basically when this happens, they use the mirror as like a shield to protect them from all the falling debris, because everything that falls on top of them when they get inside their barricade is actually transported to the area where the basically the other goblins are on the other side of that magical portal. So of course, then they make it out of there. This is the area where it all collapses and stuff. They use the mirror, and then of course the Goblin Slayer basically says that he buried the mirror in cement inside of the lake in case the goblins learn how to use it. So basically, if they start using it, they're all gonna die. So, of course, he's starting to think that there's something else going on with this. So he actually starts talking to the Sword Maiden and says, "You knew about this goblin stuff, and basically you know all about the maps and the disappearances and stuff." And she starts saying, "Yeah, I know all about this stuff, and I knew all about that giant crocodile that was down there. That was my guardian. That was like my familiar, if you will. It's like a magical creature that serves magical casters. And that crocodile is basically a guardian that came and helped the Goblin Slayer. But at the same time, she actually was the one who murdered all the townspeople and stuff and left their bodies to be discovered." And the Goblin Slayer says, "Well, I don't care about that. I only kill goblins." And so, of course, she basically starts crying and saying, "Well, will you kill goblins for me?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll kill goblins for you, but I'm not going to report you for what you did because I'm only interested in goblins." This guy is really rigid on his viewpoints. And she's like, she starts crying and she's saying, "Why are you going to do this?" And he says, "Because I'm the Goblin Slayer, and it's what I do. I kill goblins for people regardless of what they've done." And of course, she starts saying, "Well, will you come back and stuff?" And of course he says that he will. And, I believe him, honestly. He doesn't care about the people who got killed. He knows what it's like. And she just wanted people to realize what it was like to be attacked by goblins. And in the end, it turns out that everything she did didn't matter in the least because nobody cared. And, you know, that was just basically stating the point that the Goblin Slayer's work is unappreciated. Nobody cares about what he does. And it's sad, but the fact is that his skills are necessary. And she says that she cherishes them. So it's yet another female added to the harem that is the Goblin Slayer. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you appreciate this video. Thanks everyone for subscribing. You know, throw a like in this video if you enjoy it. Click on the bell icon to be notified when I release a new video. Otherwise, everyone have a great night.